Your life is about to change right here, right now. You're on the brink of understanding something so powerful, so transformative that it will reshape your entire reality. I'm talking about the law of assumption. Once you truly grasp this concept, you'll hold the key to unlocking your greatest potential and creating the life you've always dreamed of. Think about it for a moment. What if I told you that your thoughts, your beliefs, and your assumptions are the very building blocks of your reality? That the world you experience every day is a direct reflection of what you hold to be true in your mind. This isn't some far fetched idea or new age concept. It's a fundamental truth of how our consciousness interacts with the universe around us. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How can my thoughts possibly affect my physical reality? It sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? But here's the thing: quantum physics has shown us that the observer affects the observed. In other words, our consciousness has a direct impact on the world around us. And that's exactly what the law of assumption is all about. Let me break it down for you in simple terms. The law of assumption states that what you assume to be true becomes your reality. It's not about wishful thinking or daydreaming. It's about truly embodying the feeling, the emotion, the certainty that what you desire is already yours. When you do this, you align your energy, your thoughts, and your actions with that desired outcome. And that's when the magic happens. Think about the last time you were absolutely certain about something. Maybe it was acing a test, landing a job, or winning a competition. That unwavering belief, that absolute certainty. That's the power of assumption at work. You didn't hope for it to happen. You knew it would happen. And guess what? It did. Now, I want you to apply that same level of certainty to every aspect of your life, your health, your relationships, your career, your finances, all of it. Start assuming that you are already living your ideal life. Feel it in every cell of your body. See it in your mind's eye with crystal clarity. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, taste the flavors of that perfect life. Make it so real in your mind that your body believes it's happening right now. This is where most people get it wrong. They think about what they want, but they don't feel it. They don't embody it. They keep it at arm's length like a distant dream. But that's not how the law of assumption works. You need to bring that future reality into your present moment. You need to live from the end result. Let me give you an example. Say you want to be financially abundant. Don't just think about having money. Feel what it's like to be wealthy. How does it feel to wake up every morning knowing you have more than enough? How does it feel to be generous, to help others, to live without financial stress? Embody those feelings right now. Let them permeate every fiber of your being. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. When you start living from this place of assumption, your actions naturally align with your desired reality. You start making different choices, taking different actions. You become more confident, more open to opportunities. And the universe responds in kind. But remember, this isn't about forcing things to happen. It's not about struggle or strain. The law of assumption works best when you're in a state of relaxed awareness. It's about allowing your desired reality to unfold naturally, knowing with absolute certainty that it's already done. Now, I can almost hear some of you saying, but what about my current reality? What about my bills, my job, my relationships? And that's a valid question. The key is to acknowledge your current reality without giving it power over your future. Yes, you may have challenges right now, but those challenges don't define you, and they certainly don't determine your future, unless you assume they do. This is where the rubber meets the road. Can you look at your current circumstances and still hold firm to your assumption of your desired reality? Can you see beyond the apparent limitations and focus on the limitless potential within you? That's the true test of mastering the law of assumption. It's like tuning a radio. Right now, you might be tuned into the station of lack or struggle or limitation, but that's just one frequency. Your desired reality is broadcasting on a different frequency. All you need to do is tune into it. And you do that through your assumptions. Now let's talk about consistency. The law of assumption isn't a one-time thing. It's not about making a wish and then forgetting about it. It's about consistently aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desired reality. It's about making your assumption your new normal. Think about it like this. If you were to suddenly receive everything you've ever wanted, how would you feel? How would you think? How would you act? That's the state you need to cultivate now, not tomorrow, not when things get better, but right now, in this very moment. This might sound challenging, and I won't lie to you. It can be. We're creatures of habit, and our old thought patterns can be stubborn. But here's the good news. Our being is plastic. It can change. It can form new neural pathways. And every time you choose to assume your desired reality, you're strengthening those new pathways. So how do you do this in practical terms? Start with small things. Assume you'll have a great day. Assume you'll find a parking spot easily. Assume you'll have a productive meeting. As you see these assumptions manifest in your reality, your confidence will grow. You'll start to trust the process more and more. But don't stop there. Apply this to bigger things. Assume perfect health. Assume abundant wealth. Assume fulfilling relationships. And here's the key: don't wait for evidence before you believe. Your assumption creates the evidence, not the other way around. Now, I want to address something important. The law of assumption isn't about ignoring reality or living in denial. It's about choosing which reality you want to focus on and expand. It's about understanding that what you consider to be reality is actually just a reflection of your past thoughts and assumptions. Think about it. Everything in your life right now, your job, your relationships, your bank balance, all of it is the result of your past assumptions. Some of those assumptions may have been conscious, but many were likely unconscious. You've been using the law of assumption all along, whether you realize it or not. The only difference now is that you're doing it consciously, deliberately, with intention. This is where your power lies. Once you understand this, truly understand it, you'll never look at your life the same way again. You'll realize that you're not a victim of circumstances, but a creator of your reality. You'll understand that your future isn't determined by your past, but by your present assumptions. Let's take a moment to really let that sink in. You are the creator of your reality, not your parents, not your boss, not the economy, not the government. You, through your assumptions, you are shaping your world every single moment of every single day. Now, I know this might feel like a big responsibility, and it is, but it's also the most liberating realization you can have, because if you can create your reality through your assumptions, then you can create any reality you want. You're no longer bound by what seems possible or probable. You're only bound by what you can assume to be true. But here's the thing. This power isn't reserved for a select few. It's not something you need to be born with or achieve through years of hard work. It's your birthright. It's the very nature of your consciousness. You've just forgotten how to use it effectively. Think of a child playing make-believe. They don't question whether their imaginary world is real or not. They simply assume it into being. And in that moment, for them, it is absolutely real. That's the kind of unwavering belief, that pure assumption that you need to cultivate. Now, you might be wondering, if it's this simple, why isn't everyone doing it? And that's a great question. The truth is, most people are doing it, but they're doing it unconsciously. They're assuming limitations, assuming failure, assuming that life is hard. And guess what? That's exactly what they're experiencing. But you're different. You're here right now. Learning about this powerful law, you're taking control of your assumptions. And that puts you light years ahead of most people. So how do you start? How do you begin to harness this incredible power? It starts with awareness. Become aware of your current assumptions. What are you assuming about your life, your abilities, your future? Are these assumptions serving you? If not, it's time to change them. Next, choose your new assumptions carefully. Remember, whatever you assume to be true will become your reality. So assume the best. Assume that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of all the good things life has to offer. Assume that opportunities are abundant and that success comes easily to you. Now, here's where many people stumble. They make these new assumptions, but they don't feel real, and that's okay. It's natural for your old assumptions to put up a fight. They've been running the show for a long time after all. But here's the secret. Act as if your new assumptions are already true. This is where the real magic happens. When you act as if your assumptions are true, you start to generate evidence that supports them. And as you accumulate this evidence, your new assumptions become stronger and more believable. Let me give you a practical example. Let's say you want to assume financial abundance. Start acting as if you're already wealthy. This doesn't mean spending money recklessly. It means adopting the mindset of someone who has more than enough. It means being generous, being grateful for what you have, making smart financial decisions. As you do this, you'll start to notice changes. Maybe you'll find a great deal on something you need. Maybe an unexpected check will arrive in the mail. Maybe a new business opportunity will present itself. These are all signs that your new assumption is taking root. But here's the crucial part. Don't get caught up in looking for signs. Remember, you're not waiting for evidence to believe. You're believing first, and the evidence will follow. Your job is simply to maintain your assumption regardless of what your current circumstances might be telling you. This brings us to another important point: persistence. The law of assumption isn't a quick fix or a magic pill. It's a way of life. It requires consistent effort and unwavering faith. There will be times when your old assumptions try to reassert themselves. There will be times when your current reality seems to contradict your new assumptions. This is where your persistence comes in. In these moments, double down on your assumptions. Remind yourself that your current reality is just a reflection of your past thoughts. It has no power over your future unless you give it that power. Stay focused on your desired reality. Feel it, live it, breathe it. Now, let's talk about something that often trips people up: detachment. This might sound counterintuitive, but to really master the law of assumption, you need to detach from the outcome. What do I mean by this? I mean that once you've made your assumption, you need to let go of any anxiety or desperation about when or how it will manifest. Think about it like planting a seed. Once you've planted it and watered it, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust in the process. You know that given the right conditions, that seed will grow into a beautiful. Your assumptions work the same way. Plant them, nurture them, and then allow them to grow. This detachment is crucial because it allows you to stay in the state of having already received. If you're constantly looking for signs or worrying about when your desire will manifest, you're actually assuming that you don't have it yet. And remember, what you assume becomes your reality. So how do you maintain this state of detachment? By focusing on the feeling of having already received. This is where many teachings about manifestation and the law of attraction fall short. They focus too much on the external goal and not enough on the internal state. Your internal state is everything. It's the broadcast you're sending out to the universe. If your internal state is one of lack, of wanting, of needing, that's what you'll continue to experience. But if your internal state is one of abundance, of already having, of being complete, that's when your external reality will start to shift to match it. This is why it's so important to really embody your desired reality. Don't just think about it. Feel it. Experience it with all your senses. Make it so real in your mind that your body can't tell the difference between your imagination and your physical reality. And here's a powerful secret: your body doesn't know the difference. To your body, a vividly imagined experience is just as real as a physical one. This is why visualization is so powerful. When you vividly imagine your desired reality, your body responds as if it's actually happening. It starts producing the corresponding emotions, hormones, and energy. This is where science and spirituality meet. We now know that our thoughts and emotions have a direct impact on our biology. Positive thoughts and emotions boost our immune system, increase our resilience, and even change our gene expression. So when you assume your desired reality, you're not just changing your mindset, you're literally changing your biology. But remember, this isn't about forcing positive thoughts or suppressing negative ones. It's about choosing where to place your focus. It's about selecting which thoughts and assumptions you want to energize and expand. Think of it like tending a garden. You don't fight against the weeds. That only gives them more energy. Instead, you focus on nourishing the plants you want to grow. In the same way, don't fight against your negative thoughts or current circumstances. Simply choose to focus on and nourish your desired reality. Now, let's address another common question. What about other people? What if your assumptions conflict with someone else's? This is where many people get stuck. They assume that their reality is dependent on others, that they need someone else's permission or cooperation to create what. But here's the liberating truth: your reality is your own. It's shaped by your assumptions, not anyone else's. When you truly understand this, you'll stop trying to change others or waiting for them to change. You'll simply assume the version of them that aligns with your desired reality. This doesn't mean controlling others or disregarding their free will. It means understanding that everyone in your reality is a reflection of your assumptions about them. As you change your assumptions, you'll notice people responding differently to you. You'll attract people who align with your new assumptions, and your old relationships will either transform or naturally fall away. This brings us to another crucial point: responsibility. Understanding the law of assumption means taking full responsibility for your life. It means recognizing that everything in your experience is a result of your assumptions, conscious or unconscious. This level of responsibility can feel overwhelming at first. It's much easier to blame others or circumstances for our problems. But once you embrace this responsibility, you'll feel an incredible sense of freedom. Because if you're responsible for creating your current reality, you're also capable of creating a new one. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when people start working with the law of assumption: the idea of instant manifestation. You might hear stories of people who assumed something and it appeared immediately. And while this can happen, it's not the norm, especially when you're just starting out. Remember, you're working with energy and consciousness here. Sometimes things can manifest instantly. Other times, it may take longer, The key is not to get hung up on the timing. Your job is simply to maintain your assumption, regardless of how long it takes to show up in your physical reality. Think of it like placing an order at a restaurant. Once you've placed your order, you don't keep asking the waiter when your food will arrive. You trust that it's being prepared and will arrive at the perfect time. Your assumptions work the same way. Once you've placed your order with the universe through your assumption, trust that it's on its way. This trust, this knowing, is the hallmark of someone who has truly mastered the law of assumption. They don't hope, they don't wish, they don't even believe. They know. It's a deep, unshakable knowing that transcends logic and circumstances. And here's the beautiful thing. As you practice this, as you live from this place of knowing, it becomes easier and more natural. What once seemed impossible becomes your new normal. You'll look back at your old life, your old way of thinking, and wonder how you ever lived that way. But don't take my word for it. Test it for yourself. Start with something small, something that feels believable. Assume it into being. Feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude of having it now. Then watch how your reality shifts to match your assumption. As you see results, gradually expand your assumptions. Push the boundaries of what you think is possible. Remember, the only limits are the ones you assume into existence. So why not assume limitless potential? Why not assume a life beyond your wildest dreams? Now, I want to address something important. The role of action in all of this. Some people mistakenly believe that the law of assumption means you just sit back and wait for things to happen. But that's not how it works. Assumption without action is just daydreaming. True assumption inspires aligned action. When you genuinely assume something to be true, you naturally start taking actions that align with that assumption. If you assume you're a successful entrepreneur, you'll find yourself researching business strategies, networking with other entrepreneurs, and taking steps to start or grow your business. If you assume you're in perfect health, you'll naturally make healthier food choices and feel motivated to exercise. These actions aren't forced or stressful. They flow naturally from your assumption. They feel good, exciting, even effortless, because in your mind, you're not trying to become something. You're simply living out what you already are. This is where many people get tripped up. They try to take actions that don't align with their current assumptions. It's like trying to force a square peg into a round hole, but when your actions naturally arise from your assumptions, everything flows smoothly. The right opportunities appear, the right people show up, and things just seem to fall into place. Now, let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial to mastering the law of assumption. Your self-concept. Your self-concept is the set of beliefs and assumptions you hold about yourself. It's the foundation upon which all your other assumptions are built. If you assume you're unworthy, undeserving, or incapable, it doesn't matter what other positive assumptions you try to make. Those limiting beliefs about yourself will undermine everything else. That's why working on your self-concept is so important. Start assuming the best about yourself. Assume you're worthy of all the good things life has to offer. Assume you're capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Assume you're lovable, valuable, and important. These aren't egotistical or arrogant assumptions. They're the truth of who you really are beneath all the conditioning and limiting beliefs. As you improve your self-concept, you'll find it easier to make and maintain positive assumptions about other areas of your life. It's like building a house on a solid foundation. Everything else becomes more stable and secure. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when people start working with the law of assumption, the fear of disappointment. You might be thinking, what if I assume something and it doesn't happen? Won't I be setting myself up for disappointment? This is a valid concern, but it comes from a misunderstanding of how the law of assumption works. When you truly assume something, you're not attached to a specific outcome. You're living from the feeling of already having what you desire. In that state, disappointment is impossible because you already have what you want. If not in physical form, then in your consciousness, which is where everything begins anyway. Remember, the outer world is always catching up to your inner world. Your physical reality is a reflection of your past assumptions. So even if you don't see immediate changes in your circumstances, know that as long as you maintain your assumption, your outer world must eventually conform. This brings us to another important point: patience. In our fast-paced, instant gratification world, patience can be challenging. But when working with the law of assumption, patience isn't about waiting anxiously for something to happen. It's about resting in the certainty that what you've assumed is already yours. Think of it like this: if you order something online and you know it's on its way, you're not anxiously waiting by the door every minute. You're going about your life secure in the knowledge that your package will arrive. That's the kind of patience I'm talking about. It's relaxed, It's confident, it's assured. Now, let's discuss something that can really supercharge your assumptions: gratitude. Gratitude is like fuel for your assumptions. When you're grateful for what you have, including the thing you're assuming into your reality, you amplify the power of your assumption. Why? Because gratitude puts you in the feeling place of having. When you're truly grateful, you're not longing or wanting, you're appreciating and enjoying. And that state of appreciation and enjoyment is exactly the state you want to be in to manifest your desire. So practice gratitude daily. Be grateful for what you have now and be grateful for what you're assuming into your reality. Feel the joy, the excitement, the appreciation of having your desire now. Let that feeling permeate every cell of your body. This brings us to another powerful tool: your imagination. Your imagination is the workshop where you craft your assumptions. It's where you create the blueprint for your desired reality. And the more vividly you can imagine, more powerful your assumptions become. Use all your senses when you imagine. See the details of your desired reality, hear the sounds associated with it, feel the textures, smell the scents, taste the flavors, make it as real and vivid as possible in your mind. The more real it feels in your imagination, the more easily it will manifest in your physical reality. Now, I want to address something that often trips people up when working with the law of assumption: the how. Many people get caught up in trying to figure out how their desire will manifest. But here's the truth: the I how is not your job. Your job is to assume the end result. The universe will take care of the how. Think about it. Do you know how your heart beats? Do you know how your food digests? Do you know how a seed grows into a tree? There are countless miracles happening every moment that we don't understand. Yet they happen perfectly. Trust that the same intelligence that orchestrates all of this can also bring your assumptions into reality. This doesn't mean you should ignore inspired action when it comes, but it does mean that you don't need to stress about figuring everything out. Often, the path to your desire will unfold in ways you couldn't have imagined. Stay open, stay flexible, and trust the process. Now, let's talk about something that can really enhance your ability to maintain your assumptions: a daily practice. Just like any skill, working with the law of assumption gets easier and more effective with consistent practice. Set aside time each day to reinforce your assumptions. This could be through meditation, visualization, journaling, or any other method that works for you. The key is consistency. Make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Over time, you'll find that maintaining your assumptions becomes second nature. During your daily practice, really immerse yourself in the feeling of your assumption. Feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude of having what you desire. Let those feelings saturate your entire being. Remember, it's not just about thinking different thoughts. It's about embodying a new state of being. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when people start seeing results with the law of assumption: the temptation to test it. You might find yourself assuming small things into being just to see if it works. And while this can be fun and can help build your confidence, be careful not to turn it into a game of proving the law. Remember, the law of assumption is always working, whether you're conscious of it or not. You don't need to prove it any more than you need to prove gravity. Instead of testing, focus on living from your assumptions. Make them your new normal. This brings us to another important point: the role of emotions in the law of assumption. Your emotions are a powerful indicator of your assumptions. If you find yourself feeling anxious, worried, or doubtful, it's a sign that you're not fully embodying your assumption. Use your emotions as a guidance system. When you notice negative emotions creeping in, don't fight them or try to suppress them. Instead, gently guide your focus back to your assumption. Feel the emotions associated with already having what you desire. Let those positive emotions fill you up and crowd out the negative ones. Now, let's talk about something that can really amplify the power of your assumptions: aligning your environment. Your physical environment is a reflection of your assumptions, but it can also reinforce them. Look around you. Does your environment reflect your desired reality? If not, start making changes. If you're assuming financial abundance, organize your finances and create a beautiful space to manage your money. If you're assuming a loving relationship, make space in your home for a partner. Let your environment support and reinforce your assumptions. This doesn't mean you need to make drastic changes overnight. Small, meaningful changes can have a big impact. The key is to create an environment that feels aligned with your assumptions. Now, I want to address something that often comes up as people start seeing results with the law of assumption: the fear of losing what they've manifested. This fear can actually undermine your assumptions and create the very loss you're afraid of. Remember, what you assume persists. If you assume that you can lose what you've gained, that becomes your reality. Instead, assume permanence. Assume that what's yours is yours now and always. Assume that your good is constantly expanding and multiplying. This ties into another important aspect of mastering the law of assumption, assuming from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. When you assume from scarcity, you're always afraid of losing, always protecting what you have. But when you assume from abundance, you know that there's always more where that came from. Abundance isn't just about money or material things. It's a state of mind, a way of looking at the world. It's knowing that there's more than enough of everything: love, joy, success, opportunities for everyone. When you assume from this place of abundance, you open yourself up to receiving more and more good in your life. Now, let's talk about something that can really deepen your understanding and mastery of the law of assumption: studying the lives of those who have successfully used it. Look for examples in history, in your own life, in the lives of successful people around you. You'll start to see patterns, to recognize how their assumptions shape their reality. But don't just study their successes. Look at their setbacks too. You'll often find that their setbacks were the result of changed assumptions. This can help you understand the power of your own assumptions and motivate you to keep them positive and aligned with your desires. As we near the end of our time together, I want to remind you of something crucial. The law of assumption is not about controlling or manipulating the outside world. It's about aligning your inner world with your desires. It's about becoming the person who already has what you want. This is where true power lies. Because when you change who you are being, your entire world changes to match it. You're not trying to make things happen. You're allowing your new reality to unfold naturally as a result of who you've become. This is the essence of the law of assumption. It's not about doing more or trying harder. It's about being the person who already has what you desire, being the person who lives in your ideal reality. When you master this state of being, everything else falls into place effortlessly. Now, I want to address something that often comes up as people deepen their practice with the law of assumption: the idea of everyone is you pushed out. This concept suggests that everyone in your reality is a reflection of your assumptions about them and about yourself. This doesn't mean that other people don't have free will. It means that your experience of them is shaped by your assumptions. If you assume people are kind, you'll notice and attract kindness. If you assume people are difficult, you'll find evidence of that too. This understanding can be incredibly empowering. It means that you don't have to wait for others to change. You can change your experience of them by changing your assumptions. As you do this, you'll often find that people naturally start to reflect back to you what you're assuming about them. But remember, this isn't about controlling others. It's about taking responsibility for your experience. It's about recognizing that your assumptions create your reality in all areas of your life, including your relationships. Now, let's talk about something that can really accelerate your results with the law of assumption: living in the end. This means fully embracing the feeling of already having what you desire. It's not just visualizing or affirming. It's about embodying the state of the wish fulfilled in every moment. When you live in the end, you're not hoping for your desire to manifest. You're not even believing it will manifest. You're experiencing it as already manifested. This state of being is incredibly powerful. It aligns all your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desire, making its physical manifestation inevitable. But here's the key: you have to maintain this state consistently. It's not enough to do it for a few minutes during meditation or visualization. You need to carry it with you throughout your day. Let it inform how you think, how you feel, how you speak, how you act. This might sound challenging, and at first it can be. Your old habits of thought and feeling will try to reassert themselves, but with practice, living in the end becomes more and more natural. Eventually, it becomes your default state. Now, I want to address something that often trips people up when working with the law of assumption: the need for certainty. Many people feel they need to be 100 certain 100 of the time for their assumptions to work. But this kind of rigid certainty often leads to stress and doubt. Instead, aim for a relaxed knowing. It's like knowing the sun will rise tomorrow. You don't stress about it. You don't constantly affirm it. You simply know it. That's the kind of certainty you're aiming for with your assumptions. This relaxed knowing allows you to be flexible and open to how your desire manifests, because often the universe has even better plans than what you've imagined. When you're rigidly attached to a specific outcome, you might miss out on something even better. Let's talk about another powerful aspect of the law of assumption: the concept of instantaneous transformation. This is the understanding that change doesn't have to be gradual. In an instant, with a shift in your assumptions, your entire reality can transform. Think about it. Have you ever had a sudden realization that changed everything? Maybe you saw a situation from a new perspective and suddenly all your feelings about it changed. That's the power of instantaneous transformation. Your assumptions shifted, and your reality shifted with them. This means you don't have to wait to become the person you want to be. You don't have to gradually work your way towards your desired reality. You can step into it now in this very moment by fully embracing your new assumption. Now, I want to address something that often comes up as people start seeing big results with the law of assumption, the fear of their power. As you start to realize how profoundly your assumptions shape your reality, it can feel overwhelming. You might worry about assuming the wrong things or feel burdened by the responsibility. But here's the truth. You've always had this power. You've always been creating your reality with your assumptions. The only difference now is that you're doing it consciously, and that consciousness gives you choice. It gives you the ability to deliberately shape your life instead of unconsciously repeating old patterns. Embrace this power, use it wisely and lovingly. Remember, the same power that can assume wonderful things into your life is the power that has been assuming your current reality. So why not use it to assume the very best for yourself and others? Let's talk about something that can really enhance your practice of the law of assumption, the power of decision. When you make a clear, firm decision, you're making a powerful assumption. You're saying, this is how it is. And the universe responds to that clarity. Many people live in a state of indecision, constantly wavering between different options. But this state of indecision is really an assumption that you don't know what you want or that you can't have what you want. Make clear decisions. Assume your ability to choose and to have your choices realized. Now, I want to address something that often comes up as people deepen their understanding of the law of assumption, the role of the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is incredibly powerful. It's the part of you that brings your assumptions to life. Think of your conscious mind as the gardener and your subconscious mind as the garden. Your conscious mind plants the seeds, your assumptions, but it's your subconscious mind that nurtures those seeds and brings them to fruition. This is why it's so important to impress your assumptions upon your subconscious mind. You do this through repetition, through feeling, through living in the end. As your subconscious mind accepts your new assumptions, it begins to work tirelessly to bring them into your physical reality. Let's talk about another powerful aspect of working with the law of assumption, the concept of revision. Revision is the practice of reimagining past events in line with your desired reality. It's based on the understanding that time is not linear and that your past is as malleable as your future. When you revise a past event, you're not denying what happened. You're choosing to focus on and assume a different version of events, one that aligns with your desired reality. This can be incredibly healing and can help you release old, limiting beliefs and assumptions. For example, if you had a difficult childhood, you might revise it to focus on the love and support you receive, even if it was from unexpected sources. As you do this, you'll often find that your perception of your past changes, and with it, your present reality shifts too. Now, I want to address something that often comes up as people start working with revision, the idea that they're somehow denying reality or lying to themselves. But remember, what you consider to be reality is just a reflection of your past assumptions. By revising, you're not denying reality. You're choosing which reality you want to energize and expand. This brings us to another important aspect of mastering the law of assumption, understanding the nature of time. In our physical world, we experience time as linear, past, present, future, but on a deeper level, all time is now. Everything is happening in this eternal present moment. This understanding can be incredibly liberating. It means that your past does not determine your future unless you assume that it does. It means that you can step into any reality you desire right now without needing to gradually work your way towards it. When you really grasp this, manifestation becomes instantaneous. You're not waiting for something to happen in the future. You're selecting which reality you're experiencing now. This is the true power of the law of assumption. Now let's talk about something that can really enhance your practice. The power of your words. Your words are expressions of your assumptions. They have the power to shape your reality. Pay attention to how you speak. Are your words aligned with your desired reality? Start speaking as if your desires are already fulfilled. Use present tense. Instead of saying, I want to be healthy, say, I am healthy. Instead of saying, I hope to get that job, say, I am grateful for my wonderful new job. Let your words reflect the reality you're assuming into existence. This isn't about denying your current circumstances. It's about choosing which reality you give power to with your words. Remember, your words don't just describe your reality, they help create it. As we near the end of our time together, I want to remind you of something crucial. The law of assumption is not just about getting things. It's about becoming more of who you truly are. It's about expanding into the fullest, most beautiful expression of yourself. You see, at your core, you are pure, limitless consciousness. You are one with the creative power of the universe. When you work with the law of assumption, you're not just changing your external reality, you're aligning more fully with your true self. This is why it feels so good when you assume the best for yourself and others. It's why living from the end brings such joy and peace. You're aligning with your true nature. You're expressing more of who you really are. So as you work with the law of assumption, remember this, you're not just creating a better life for yourself. You're allowing more of your true self to shine through. You're becoming more of who you really are. And that, my friends, is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to the world. Because as you expand into more of your true self, you inspire others to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible. You become a light that helps illuminate the path for others. So embrace your power. Trust in the law of assumption. Know that you have the ability to create any reality you can imagine and use that power wisely and lovingly to create a life that lights you up and contributes to the well-being of all. Remember, once you truly understand the law of assumption, you hold the key to creating your ideal life. You have the power to shape your reality according to your deepest desires. Use this power consciously, use it consistently, and watch as your life transforms in amazing ways. You are the creator of your reality. You always have been. Now that you understand this, what will you create? The choice is yours. The power is yours. The time is now. Step into your power, assume your greatness, and create a life beyond your wildest dreams. You've got this. Now go out there and create magic. You have the power to create the life you've always dreamed of. Right now, in this moment, you hold the key to unlock your limitless potential. This isn't just positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It's based on cutting-edge science and age-old wisdom. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs shape your reality in ways more profound than most people realize. The thing about it is everything in your life right now, your job, your relationships, your health, your wealth, all of it started as a thought in someone's mind. Maybe it was your thought, maybe it was someone else's. But every single thing around you began as an idea before it became real. If thoughts create our reality, why aren't we all living our dream lives? The answer is simple but powerful. Most people spend their lives thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and doing the same things day after day. They're stuck in a loop, repeating their past and recreating their present over and over again. But you're not most people. You're here because you know deep down that there's more to life than just going through the motions. You're here because you're ready to break free from old patterns and create something extraordinary. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's happening in your outer world and what's happening in your inner world. When you vividly imagine something, your brain fires the same neurons as if it were actually happening. This is why visualization is so powerful. It's not just daydreaming, it's rehearsing for reality. But here's where most people get it wrong. They try to change their lives by changing their actions alone. They set goals, make plans, and work hard. And while effort is important, it's not enough. Because if your thoughts and feelings don't align with your goals, you'll always be swimming against the current. The key is to change from the inside out, to create new thoughts, new emotions, and new beliefs that are in harmony with the life you want to create. When you do this, you start to emit a new signal to the universe. You become a magnet for opportunities, people, and circumstances that match your new inner state. This isn't some mystical process. It's based on quantum physics. At the most fundamental level, everything in the universe is energy and information. Your thoughts and feelings are energy too. When you change your energy, you change what you attract into your life. So how do we do this? How do we actually manifest the life of our dreams? It starts with getting clear on what you truly want. Not what society tells you to want, not what your parents or friends think you should want, but what lights you up from the inside. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine your ideal life in vivid detail. Where are you living? What kind of work are you doing? Who are you surrounded by? How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Don't hold back. Let yourself dream big. As you imagine this ideal life, notice how it makes you feel. Do you feel excited, peaceful, confident, joyful? Those feelings are the key to making your vision a reality. You see, most people spend their lives chasing things because they think those things will make them feel a certain way. They want money because they think it will make them feel secure. They want a relationship because they think it will make them feel loved. They want success because they think it will make them feel worthy. But here's the truth. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you are if you want to attract abundance. You need to become abundant in your mind first. If you want love, you need to become love. If you want success, you need to embody the feeling of success now, not someday in the future. This is where meditation comes in. When you meditate, you create space between your thoughts. You step out of the chattering mind and into the field of pure possibility. In this space, you can begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. Your subconscious is like a powerful supercomputer. It runs most of your life on autopilot based on programs installed in your past. Some of these programs serve you, but many of them are limiting beliefs that hold you back. Through meditation, you can access this subconscious realm and start installing new programs. You can plant seeds of new possibilities in the fertile soil of your mind, and just like a seed in the ground, these new thoughts and beliefs will grow if you nurture them. But it's not enough to just think positive thoughts for a few minutes a day. You need to feel the emotions associated with your vision as if it's already happened. Your emotions are the language of your body. When you combine clear intention with elevated emotion, you create a powerful force for change in your. Think about a time when you were truly happy, truly in love, or truly successful. Remember how that felt in your body. That feeling is your body's way of saying more of this, please. When you can generate those feelings at will, through meditation and visualization, you start to change your brain and body chemistry. Your brain starts to create new neural pathways. Your body begins to produce different hormones and neurotransmitters. You literally become a different person on a biological level. And when you become different on the inside, your outer world has no choice but to change to match it. This is why it's so important to do this inner work consistently. It's not about forcing change through sheer willpower. It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with your desires so thoroughly that your new reality becomes inevitable. This sounds great, but my life is so busy. I don't have time to meditate for hours every day. Good news, you don't have to. Even 15, 20 minutes of focused meditation and visualization each day can start to shift your energy. The key is consistency. It's better to meditate for 15 minutes every day than to do it for an hour once a week. Why? Because you're training your brain and body to hold a new state of being. Just like building muscle at the gym, it's the regular repetition that creates lasting change. Here's a simple practice you can start with. Each morning before you check your phone or start your day, take a few minutes to sit quietly. Close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and bring to mind your ideal life. See it, hear it, feel it as vividly as you can. Then carry that feeling with you throughout your day. As you do this, you'll start to notice something interesting. Opportunities that align with your vision will begin to show up in your life. People who can help you will cross your path. Ideas and inspirations will come to you seemingly out of nowhere. This isn't coincidence or magic. It's because you've tuned your brain to notice things that match your new inner state. It's like when you buy a new car and suddenly you see that model everywhere. The cars were always there, but now your brain is primed to notice them. The same thing happens when you consistently focus on your vision, your reticular activating system. The part of your brain that filters information starts to let in more of what aligns with your new beliefs and expectations. They start to see evidence of change, get excited, and then fall back into old patterns. They let their external environment dictate their internal state instead of the other way around. This is why it's crucial to maintain your new state of being, especially when things aren't going your way. It's easy to feel grateful and positive when everything's great. The real test is whether you can hold that elevated emotion even when faced with challenges. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being. If you only feel worthy and abundant when things are going well, you'll always be at the mercy of external circumstances. But if you can cultivate those feelings regardless of what's happening around you, you become unstoppable. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything's perfect. It means choosing your response to life's challenges. Instead of reacting from a place of fear or lack, you respond from a place of trust and abundance. You see obstacles as opportunities for growth and learning. You practice as something remarkable starts to happen. Your past stops dictating your future. Most people's lives are like a hamster wheel. They keep recreating their past because their brain is wired to the emotions of their past experiences. But when you consistently create new thoughts and emotions, you start writing a new story for your life. You become less reactive and more creative. Instead of being triggered by old wounds, you respond from a place of possibility. You stop waiting for something outside of you to change how you feel inside. You become the author of your own life story. This is true empowerment. It's not about controlling everything in your external world. It's about mastering your inner world so thoroughly that the outer world naturally aligns with. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of manifesting your dream life: action. Some people think that if they just visualize and feel good, everything will magically fall into place. While your inner state is crucial, inspired action is what brings your vision into physical reality. The key word here is inspired. When you're consistently aligning yourself with the energy of your vision, you'll feel drawn to take certain actions. These won't feel like a chore or something you should do. They'll feel exciting even if they're challenging. This is the difference between forcing things to happen and allowing them to unfold. When you force, you're often operating from a place of fear or lack. You're trying to control outcomes because you don't trust the process. But when you allow, you're co-creating with the universe. You take action, but you stay open to unexpected opportunities and detours. Think of it like planting a garden. You prepare the soil, your mind, plant the seeds, your vision, water and nurture the plants, your daily practice, but you don't dig up the seeds every day to see if they're growing. You trust the process, knowing that with the right conditions, growth is inevitable. This trust is essential. Many people give up on their dreams because they don't see immediate results. They plant the seed on Monday and expect a full-grown tree by Friday, but real, lasting change takes time. Your brain and body need time to rewire themselves. Your outer reality needs time to catch up with your new inner state. This is why patience and persistence are so important. You're not just changing your circumstances, you're changing yourself at a fundamental level. This kind of deep transformation doesn't happen overnight. But if you stay consistent, the results can be nothing short of miraculous. I've seen people heal from chronic illnesses, create thriving businesses from scratch, find their soulmates, and completely reinvent their lives using these principles, not because they're special or lucky, but because they were willing to do the inner work consistently. But if I do all this and nothing changes, here's the true thing. Something always changes, but it might not be what you expect. Often the first thing that changes is how you feel about your current situation. You start to find joy and gratitude in the present moment rather than constantly yearning for something different. The shift in perspective is powerful because it breaks the cycle of conditional happiness. You know, the I'll be happy when syndrome, when you can be happy and at peace now, regardless of external circumstances, you become magnetic to more. Moreover, as you change, your interpretation of events changes. What once seemed like a setback might now look like a blessing in disguise. You start to trust the journey even when you can't see the entire path. This trust is crucial because the path to your dreams often doesn't look like what you imagined. It's rarely a straight line. There are usually twists and turns, ups and downs. But when you trust the process, you can navigate these with grace and even excitement. The universe's plan for you is always bigger and better than what you can imagine for yourself. By staying open and flexible, you allow this greater plan to unfold. Now, let's talk about a vital component of manifesting your dreams. Gratitude is like a magnet for miracles. When you're truly grateful for what you have, you open yourself up to receive more. But here's a key contrast: gratitude not just for what's good in your life, but for everything, including the challenges. Because every experience, pleasant or unpleasant, is an opportunity for growth and learning. When you can find gratitude in difficult situations, you transcend the victim mentality that keeps so many people stuck. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what can I learn from this? How is this helping me grow? This shift in perspective is transformative. It moves you from a reactive state to a creative state. Instead of life happening to you, life starts happening for you. Every experience becomes a stepping stone towards your vision. As you practice gratitude, you'll notice something interesting. The more grateful you are, the more you have to be grateful for. It's like you're signaling to the universe, yes, more of this, please, and the universe responds in kind. Another powerful practice is to express gratitude for your future as if it's already happened. Thank the universe for your dream job, your ideal relationship, your perfect health, even if these things haven't manifested in your physical reality yet. Why does this work? because gratitude puts you in vibrational alignment with what you want to attract. It closes the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It makes you magnetic to the experiences, people, and circumstances that match your vision. Now, let's address another important point: the role of others in your manifestation journey. While this work is deeply personal, we don't exist in isolation. Our relationships and interactions with others play a crucial role in shaping our reality. Here's your change: your relationships will change. Some people will be inspired by your transformation and will want to grow with you. Others might feel threatened or uncomfortable with the new you. This is normal and natural. Not everyone is ready to break free from old patterns and limiting beliefs. Some people are invested in keeping things the way they are, even if that way isn't serving them. Your job isn't to change others or convince them of your new way of thinking. Your job is to stay true to your vision and your new state of being. As you do this, you'll naturally attract people who resonate with your new energy. This might mean letting go of some relationships that no longer align with who you're becoming. This can be challenging, but remember, every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to something that does. At the same time, be open to new connections. As you raise your vibration, you'll start to attract people who are on a similar path. These connections can be incredibly powerful, providing support, inspiration, and opportunities for growth. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose your company wisely. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you to grow, and who are committed to their own personal development. Now, let's talk about a crucial aspect of manifesting your dreams: taking care of your physical body. Your body is the vehicle through which you experience life. It's not separate from your mind. It's an integral part of who you are. When you neglect your body, you're limiting your ability to manifest your dreams. Why? Because your physical state directly affects your mental and emotional state. It's hard to feel abundant and powerful when you're constantly tired, in pain, or battling health issues. This doesn't mean you need to have a perfect body or follow some strict regimen. It means listening to your body, giving it what it needs, and treating it with respect and care. Proper nutrition, regular exercise, adequate sleep. These aren't just good health practices. They're essential components of your manifestation toolkit. When you take care of your body, you have more energy, clearer thinking, and a greater capacity to handle stress and challenges. Moreover, taking care of your body is a powerful way to show the universe that you value yourself. It's a tangible expression of self-love and self-respect. And when you truly value yourself, you open the door to receiving more good things in your life. Your body is always communicating with you. Learn to listen to its signals. When you honor your body's needs, you create a strong foundation for manifesting your dreams. Now, let's address a common pitfall in the manifestation journey: the comparison trap. In today's world of social media and constant connectivity, it's easy to fall into the habit of comparing your life to others. But here's the truth: everyone's journey is unique. Your path to your dreams won't look like anyone else's, and that's exactly as it should be. Comparing yourself to others is not only futile, it's counterproductive. When you compare, you're usually doing so from a place of lack. You're focusing on what you don't have, rather than appreciating what you do have. This puts you in a lower vibrational state, making it harder to attract what you want. Moreover, you never know the full story of someone else's life. What looks like overnight success is often the result of years of unseen hard work and struggle. What appears perfect on the surface might be hiding deep challenges. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Focus on your own growth, your own progress. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they might seem. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. When you focus on your own growth and stay true to your own path, you accelerate your progress towards your dreams. To talk about another crucial aspect of manifesting your dreams: the power of your words. The language you use, both in your internal dialogue and in your conversations with others, shapes your reality in profound ways. Your words are like seeds. Every time you speak, you're planting something in the garden of your life. Are you planting flowers or weeds? Are your words nurturing your dreams or reinforcing your limitations? Pay attention to the phrases you use regularly. Do you often say things like, "I can't afford that," or "that's impossible for someone like me"? These statements might seem harmless, but they're actually powerful affirmations that reinforce a reality of lack and limit. Instead, start using language that aligns with your vision, even if it feels strange at first. Say things like, I'm in the process of attracting abundance, or I'm open to new possibilities for achieving my goals. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. By using empowering language, you're instructing your subconscious to seek out opportunities that match your words. This extends to how you talk about others in the world around you. Are you constantly complaining about your job, your relationships, or the state of the world? Remember, what you focus on expands. By complaining, you're putting more energy into what you don't want rather than what you do want. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. It means looking for the good in situations and people, even when it's not immediately apparent. Practice speaking as if your dreams have already come true. Instead of saying, I hope to get that promotion, say, I'm excited about stepping into my new role. Feel the difference. The second statement carries the energy of certainty and excitement, which is much more powerful in attracting what you want. Now let's address the critical points. The importance of authenticity in your manifestation journey. In the world of personal development, it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to be someone you're not. You might think you need to change everything about yourself to achieve your dreams. The most powerful manifestation happens when you're fully, authentically yourself. Your unique qualities, your quirks, your passions. These are your gifts to the world. They're what make you magnetic and irreplaceable. Instead of trying to fit into someone else's mold of success, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. This means embracing your strengths and working on your weaknesses. It means being honest about your fears and insecurities, but not letting them define you. Authenticity also means being true to your values. Don't chase dreams that aren't really yours. Don't try to manifest things just because society tells you that's what success looks like. Take the time to really understand what matters to you, what lights you up from the inside. When you're authentic, you tap into a wellspring of energy and creativity. You become more resilient in the face of challenges because you're operating from a place of inner alignment. You attract people and opportunities that resonate with your true self, not a facade you're trying to maintain. There's no one else in the world quite like you. Your unique combination of experiences, talents, and perspectives is exactly what the world needs. Trust that being authentically you is more than enough. Now, let's talk about a powerful tool in your manifestation toolkit. Visualization. We touched on this earlier, but it's worth diving deeper because visualization, when done correctly, can dramatically accelerate your progress towards your dreams. Visualization isn't just about creating a pretty picture in your mind. It's about engaging all your senses to create a vivid, emotionally charged inner experience. When you visualize, you're giving your subconscious mind a blueprint to work with. You're programming your reticular activating system to notice opportunities that align with your vision. Here's how to make your visualizations more powerful. Start by getting into a relaxed state through deep breathing or meditation. Then imagine your ideal scenario in as much detail as possible. What do you see? What sounds do you hear? What smells are in the air? What textures can you feel? Most importantly, how do you feel emotionally in this scenario? The key is to make it feel real. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. By repeatedly visualizing your desired reality, you're actually rewiring your brain to believe it's possible. But don't just visualize the end result. Visualize the process of getting there. See yourself taking the necessary steps, overcoming challenges, growing and evolving. This primes you to recognize and act on opportunities in your real life. Remember, visualization isn't a passive activity. It's not about escaping reality. It's about creating a new reality. After you visualize, pay attention to any insights or inspirations that come to you. These are often nudges from your intuition, guiding you towards your vision. What if I have negative thoughts? Am I sabotaging my manifestation? The truth is, negative thoughts are a normal part of the human experience. Trying to eliminate them completely is not only impossible, it's unnecessary. The key is not to get rid of negative thoughts, but to change your relationship with them. Instead of believing every thought that crosses your mind, learn to observe your thoughts without judgment. This is a fundamental principle of mindfulness. When a negative thought arises, acknowledge it, but don't engage with it. You can say to yourself, that's an interesting thought, and then gently redirect your focus to what you want to create. Over time, this practice weakens the power of negative thoughts and strengthens your ability to focus on the positive. Remember, your thoughts are like a radio station. You can choose which station to tune into. By consistently choosing thoughts that align with your dreams, you create a new default setting for your mind. The power of decision. Every moment of every day, you're making decisions. These decisions, big and small, are shaping your reality. Are your decisions aligned with your vision, or are they keeping you stuck in old patterns? Many people make decisions based on fear, habit, or what others expect of them. But when you're clear about your vision and committed to your growth, you can make decisions from a place of empowerment and alignment. Does this choice move me closer to or further from my vision? Is this decision coming from my highest self or from my fears and limitations? By consistently making choices that align with your dreams, you create momentum towards your desired reality. Now, let's talk about an often overlooked aspect of manifesting your dreams, the power of play and joy. In our goal-oriented society, it's easy to get so focused on the end result that we forget to enjoy the journey. But here's the truth. The universe responds to your energy, not your effort. When you approach your manifestation journey with a sense of play and joy, you open yourself up to creative solutions and unexpected opportunities. You become more resilient in the face of challenges because you're not so attached to things looking a certain way. Make time for activities that bring you joy, even if they don't seem directly related to your goals. Dance, paint, play music, spend time in nature, whatever lights you up. These activities raise your vibration and put you in a state of flow, which is incredibly powerful for manifestation. Remember, you're not just manifesting a specific outcome. You're manifesting a whole new way of being. By infusing your life with more joy and playfulness now, you're aligning yourself with the energy of your dreams. But let's address a crucial point: the role of action in manifestation. Some people misunderstand the law of attraction, thinking it means they can just visualize what they want and then sit back and wait for it to appear. But that's not how it works. Manifesting your dreams requires a balance of inner work and inspired action. The inner work, meditation, visualization, shifting your beliefs, creates the energetic conditions for your dreams to manifest. But you also need to take physical steps in the world to bring your vision into reality. The key is that these actions come from a place of inspiration and alignment, not from fear or forcing. When you're consistently doing your inner work, you'll find yourself naturally inspired to take certain actions. You might feel drawn to take a class, reach out to someone, or start a new project. These inspired actions often feel exciting. Even if they're challenging, they're different from the grinding, pushing energy that comes from trying to force things to happen. When you take inspired action, you often find that things flow more easily. Doors open, resources appear, and synchronicities occur. The universe can't do for you what it can only do through you. Your actions are the channel through which your dreams manifest in the physical world. Now, let's talk about a powerful practice for accelerating your manifestation. Acting as if. This means embodying the person you want to become right now. It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your vision even before it has fully manifested in your physical reality. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, how would a successful entrepreneur think? How would they carry themselves? What decisions would they make? Start thinking, feeling, and acting that way now. This isn't about pretending or being an authentic. It's about stepping into the energy of your future self. When you do this consistently, you send a powerful message to the universe. This is who I am. And the universe responds by reflecting that back to you in your external reality. Acting as if also helps you identify and release any limiting beliefs or behaviors that aren't in alignment with your vision. You might realize that your future self wouldn't engage in certain habits or tolerate certain situations. This awareness empowers you to make changes now that support your growth. Remember, you're not waiting to become someone new when your dreams manifest. You're becoming that person now, and that becoming is what allows your dreams to manifest. As we near the end of our journey today, let's talk about the importance of trust and surrender in the manifestation process. This might seem counterintuitive. After all, we've been talking about taking charge of your life, making decisions, taking action. But trust and surrender are equally important. Trusting means having faith in the process, even when you can't see the entire path. It's about believing in the intelligence of the universe and your connection to it. When you trust, you release the need to control every detail. You open yourself up to possibilities beyond what you can imagine. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing attachment to how things should look or when they should happen. It's about being open to the idea that the universe might have an even better plan than what you've envisioned. When you combine clear intention with deep trust and surrender, you create a powerful force for manifestation. You're saying to the universe, this is what I want, and I trust you to bring it about in the best way possible. This trust and surrender allow you to stay peaceful and centered even when things don't seem to be going your way. You understand that every experience, even the challenging ones, is part of your journey towards your dreams. As we wrap up, I want to remind you of a fundamental truth. You are always manifesting. Every thought, every feeling, every action is creating your reality. The question is, are you manifesting consciously or unconsciously? Conscious manifestation is about taking charge of this creative power. It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your highest vision for your life. It's about becoming a deliberate creator rather than a passive recipient of circumstances. The life of your dreams is not some far-off possibility. It's a reality that you can begin creating right now in this very moment. Every choice you make, every thought you think, every feeling you cultivate is either moving you closer to that reality or further away from it. Start manifesting consciously. Take charge of your thoughts, elevate your emotions, take inspired action. Trust the process. Embrace the journey. Remember, you are not a helpless spectator in your life. You are a powerful creator connected to the infinite intelligence of the universe. You have within you everything you need to create the life of your dreams. It won't always be easy. There will be challenges and setbacks, but these are not obstacles to your dreams. They're opportunities for growth. They're chances to show the universe how committed you are to your vision. Every time you choose love over fear, possibility over limitation, action over procrastination, you're sending a powerful message to the universe. You're saying, I'm ready, I'm worthy, I'm committed to my dreams. And the universe always responds. Maybe not always in the way you expect, but always in a way that serves your highest good and the highest good of all. So go forth with courage and excitement. Embrace your power as a conscious creator. Trust in the wisdom of the universe and in your own innate abilities. Know that as you change your inner world, your outer world has no choice but to change with it. Your dream life is not a fantasy. It's a reality waiting to be manifested. And it all begins right here, right now, with you making the decision to step into your power and become the deliberate creator of your life. You can literally manifest the life of your dreams. Not someday, not when everything is perfect, but right now, in this moment, with every breath, every thought, every action. The power is yours. The time is now. Your dream life is waiting. Go create it.